All right. Welcome back, guys. And as promised, we have Kieran Mullaney from EventsTag WeAreInteract. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Joel. I'm good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Man, it's been ages. I last saw you in Vegas, right?
In Vegas, yeah, in a very, very different time when people could stand next to each other and actually talk face to face.
That's right, IRL. I mean, it was. Geez, and you had a great booth, like always. With I think I remember the post office, the box.
We did. We had our mailbox, or our little mailbox postcard thing. So yeah, it was very strange. That was obviously nearly a year ago. So it's been,
man, time flies in the age of technology in the post-COVID world. But I'm glad you're on here because you have EventTech that I love, which is the point of the show. And I think you guys have pivoted. You've made a couple of announcements on LinkedIn I saw, and I was like, I gotta get this guy on the show because with WeAreInteract, which is a leader in experiences in theme parks, which I've worked with you guys in that field. I love it.
Yes.
And EventsTag, which has always been cutting edge in the photo booth industry, and I was in that industry as well with DMP. So I think I love what you're doing, how you pivoted to contactless experiences, and I want to share with our audience a little bit more about that, and then maybe you can get, well, hold on. You know what? I've gotten ahead. I always do this. I'm rushing. I have 3 coffees today. Tell me your story, your background in like 2 minutes. Where you came? How'd you get into events? How did this happen?
Sure. So it was a strange one. My background was television. I worked in post production, and I love technology. I'm not a techie hands-on type of person or a developer, but I love technology. And I had an opportunity to go and work at a company where we were using RFID and social media to basically enhance social reach at events. And it sort of grew from there, really. And I met the team at EventsTag. We were working on it. This was more for experiential. So we were trying to break into theme parks. We talked to a few theme parks. There was a lot of conferences that we did, and taking that sort of dull conference element to try and create something a bit more fun. And we worked on a project for the Premier League out in India, where they had a huge fan park, and we used our RFID technology to create gamification. They had it was a soccer event where you could take penalty kicks and all these different things. And I met up with the EventsTag team and thought, hey, you guys are doing some really cool stuff with the photo technology. Why don't we combine this with RFID? And we sort of grew from there. And I, as you know, and most people can probably tell, I'm not from the US. From Ireland originally, but
what? No,
I know. Who knew, right? And I then decided, we were going to grow the US business. So I moved out here to sunny LA, which is a million miles away from wet and cold Northern Ireland. But yeah, I love technology. I love new technology. I love finding out what's new and being involved in it and being at the forefront of it, and having some really, really cool clients who trust in us to push that technology has been great. So that's sort of where my background came from. I'm one of those annoying people that, love technology and think I know more about it than I do. So when I tell our developers, or I get a client and I sell them an idea and then go back to the team and say, I've sold this, can you make it? They're like, here we go.
I'm always like a step ahead of what the software can do.
Exactly.
CTOs love me.
Yes. So clients love me, our developers hate me. So it's.
What do you mean the robot can't talk back to you? Of course,
no.
A robot here.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV.
Well, that's good. And let's segue into what are you guys doing now? Show me what you've evolved into. Like maybe you could share some tidbits with us. Like where is this all going?
So for us, EventsTag, we primarily focused on sort of, experiential tech. What could we do for people that are capturing a moment of being at an event? Times have obviously changed, and we're like, how do we do that and make sure people can still do that, but from the safety of the comfort of their own home? So we've pivoted in terms of all of our stuff was digital anyway. We always created digital experiences, but just in real life. and now we've taken those to online.
Yeah,
So
that screen we were going to share.
let me show you. So wrong one.
Yeah, because I spent a lot of time at VidCon and at throughout different trade shows where we were there together with EventsTag.
Yes.
And it's funny because you guys were also a DMP client with the paper and everything. And I kept seeing, there's an overlapping between the physical, the digital world, and the next stage of social mobile, where this is all going, right? With the shareable experiences. And now shareable has become this with the screen. We're staring at screens more than ever before. Do you have that screen?
I do. So hopefully you can see that now.
There we go. I love that.
Perfect.
Gift together. It's like we're together again.
Exactly, and because that was the thing. People, like, I don't know about you, but I find when we first went into lockdown, I just missed that togetherness of working in a team and working in an office and looking over to your colleague and saying, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And don't get me wrong, it was great for a while, being at home and not having to travel, but I missed the traveling piece, and obviously great to spend more time with your family. But I still miss that interaction. So we built this software where we created that element of you still being together. So our gift together piece that you can see
your
here.
Instagram post is not that you've actually gone anywhere, is that you're on Instagram with all your virtual buddies, right?
Exactly, and it's you as a team. So
look, it's me from the side, it's me from the back, it's me from everywhere.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it's this was quite cool. This was the kind of things that we were looking at to how do we bring people together. We've been working on a lot of
AR augmented.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we work with a big automotive client recently, where that was a really interesting one.
I got put in touch with my guys at 302 and 302 Interactive and Code Firm, because this is all they do all day long. So I think,
of course, we tried to create this as like a second screen experience. So we had this event where the client would usually get probably around 150 to 175,000 people attend the event.
Wow.
This year we did it all online, and they had over 2 million. So I mean, it's just crazy, just to show the difference.
The audiences are growing, which is fantastic. That's one bright spot, right?
They really are, and we try to create the AR pieces as something that people can have that second screen experience. So you're on a Zoom call, or you're watching an event online. It's cool. How else do we bring that into your home? I mean, for everyone, it's all
very
about
cool.
the moment.
So safety, you're hitting on that here. I think this is where we want to talk a little bit about safety in the age of COVID, right? We have throttling people as they go into the event, right? Setting up on your phone to make sure that, what are you next in line? I mean, I think that's like one of the biggest, there we go, capacity counters. Love that. You need to integrate this. Sorry, I'm going to throw a great idea here for you. You got to integrate this with the sanitation device. How many times do you sanitize while you're here when you scan your hand?
Yep, and people are more, not only just businesses, but people in general want to know that. And it's like, it's that reminder. I mean, I always remember I had an app to tell me to drink water. How many glasses of water had I drank a day?
I need that app. What app is that? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. It's called my wife. It was like, yes, how many glasses of water have you drank? It's So it's it's those kind of things, and that's what we've looked at. We use RFID technology, and I certainly have for the last 7 or 8 years at events, and it's always been one that people have been slow to get on board with, but now more and more people are seeing how the benefits work. It's not having to touch those screens, not having to touch that plinth. It's great, and we've tied in other bits around virtual queuing. So rather than stand in a queue with 100 other people up close, it's go get your place in the queue and go do something else, or go stand 6 feet away from someone, and we'll tell you when it's your time to come. So it's those kind of things that we've been looking at to adapt to this current climate.
So I see that the virtual. What else you got? Come on, show me some more.
So let me show you some other good stuff. So what have we got?
Experiences. I love that. Registration, check-in. We got there's some good applications here which are contactless. You don't even have to touch a screen anymore. You can just scan, right?
Yes, and we're trying to do it now. We're in the process of putting in an installation at a zoo, actually, in the UK.
Okay.
And we were due to start in March. Installation, obviously everything hit, put on hold. Client came back to say, right, we're ready to go again, but we've got to change the whole concept. We can't have people touching screens.
Of course.
So we're like, well, what do we do? So we put it onto people's mobiles. So it's like, great, you come, you buy your ticket. We create the experience so you can interact with each of the screens. So there's a photo booth, there's different experiences, but it's all controlled through your handset. So you're not touching the screens. And things like a dashboard. So again, it's like, rather than go and touch a screen to download your content, everything is automatically pushed to your device. So it's all there for you to see.
We need more phone cleaners, is what you're saying, because I don't know where we've been today.
Yes.
So you need light cleaning and all sorts of cleaning for your phone. It's going to be essential. Interesting.
Exactly.
Okay, so mobile is still a huge part of it, which is funny because I got my start and experiential with charging, and it's going to be more important than ever, I guess, with all the requirements that we're going to have in our phones. Gamification, of course, always. We got to make sure things are fun.
Indeed, and we've been doing a lot of these sort of smaller sort of physical events, but also more of the digital stuff. So we've gamified things like, I think you may have seen we had like our social slots. Actually, let me see what's on the next page. I'm going to jump ahead a couple of slides. So like this, for example, so the social slots is a really good, this is an example of when we had it in a live venue. And then this is an example of when we did it online. So it's still, how do you get people to feel that they're part of something? How do you create that excitement? But also
you got to hit the gong.
Yeah. I love the sound effects. I love it. Yeah. So yeah, this is some of the stuff that we've been doing. We've also been looking at how do we create more sort of traditional sites for people to come to. So people get bored of Zoom and just having Zoom calls all the time. So we are.
So what is the future? Show me something. Maybe we take off the screens. This is what you do now. Where do you see this headed 3 months from now?
It's a good question. So, I mean, for us, like where I see, if I stop that for a second, I see us going more into like a fully immersive world. So we've been talking to some clients where they want us to build more of like a game. So putting you in like a computer game and a virtual world that you walk around in a full 360, but through your computer. So not necessarily through a VR, but it's how do we take that VR experience but put it here on a screen that everyone can enjoy.
Not an Oculus, but you're saying like on a 2D screen. Okay.
Yeah. So give this the sense. It's more like people relate
like an RPG, like a video game.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people relate to like the Google Street View idea, that kind of movement, but obviously more interactive and having, so you might be at a conference or an exhibition and you go up to a stand or you go up to a kiosk and that kiosk comes to life. And it's that sense of moving around and you may see who else is there with you. And that's where I see it going. It's like if we get to a point where we can get people to feel like they're still part of an event and still there with other people, and it's not just a one-to-one through a screen. It's that one to I'm with many others. Yeah.
I've experienced that recently with watching a show or a movie and having the group view and having everybody's reactions. Yes. It's kind of funny. It's we're in that Logan's Run world, man. It's I don't know. It's a little crazy. But okay, that's a good vision. And I know we have EventTech happening next week here in Orlando. They're going to have Biz Bash. I know that Vegas it's EventTech remote, right, where everybody's attending virtually. So things are slowly happening in the experiential and trade show world, not like they used to. I know that in the UK it's the same thing with EventTech Live. It's online now. But I feel like the real experiences, like the ones that you've shown, are going to be very, very relevant as we, especially post-election, as we go back into a real world with a vision of where things should be headed, right? We've been talking a lot about wearables. You showed RFID. Some people are talking about that I'm going to have on the show our wearable temperature technology that monitors you while you're in a venue or a theme park. Not only can you pay with it, but it's also constantly monitoring who you interacted with, sort of like contact tracing and temperature. So I see all of that being part of this ecosystem. So it's great to see you guys who have always been innovators and leaders in the field, showcase what you can do on the virtual screen. So that's very cool, man. Props to you guys. Props to EventsTag for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been tough. You know, everyone's had their moments, and you know, we certainly have as well. But it's you know, the way I look at it is, you could have easily gone, okay, well, that's our world finished, and just pack up your bags and go home, or go, how do we turn this around and turn it into something else? And that's what we've done. We've gone, right. We've got a team of smart people. We all love tech. We're all see this as an opportunity to do something else and make something out of it. And yeah, it's had its moments, but we're all still here. And I think,
Oh wait, that's the gong. We're coming up on time. So, any last thoughts of the post-COVID world? What are we? Last thought. Where are we going with this?
I mean, I think there's still going to be a bit of time, and I think there's a lot of innovation still to come out of this period. And I think, you know, events have changed, but I think for one way the better, because we have had to innovate, and there's some new cool technologies that have come out of it, and that's only going to be more prevalent when events do come back again. I don't think suddenly those will get parked. It's like, it's now, how do we adapt those into what becomes of
it's a social distance pinata. The world is changing. Kieran, I love talking to you. Like always, you're a fan, just like me, of the technology. And I think you guys have pivoted. You've adapted. You're staying strong. I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm hearing. And I can't wait to have you back in the show. Guys, you're going to see the website down here. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you for watching the show this week. Stay tuned. We're going to have another event technologist on the show next week. Kieran, thanks, buddy.
Joel, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Good chatting.
No, the pleasure's all mine. Bye.
Bye.